Hello guys, and welcome to the studio tour where I'm going to take you around our small business here at Katnipp Studios. We have been in the studio for over a year, but if you're existing to the channel, you know that we have moved through different studios over the course of the last 5 years. We are actually preparing to move out of the studio this evening, but I thought I would give one last studio tour so you can see how we kind of have worked in this space if you've got a space similar or you just want inspiration for how to lay out your small business. This evening we'll be actually moving out of the studio, and I have done a full empty studio tour on my channel and also a history of all the Katnipp studios. If you want to see where we started from start to finish, I'll leave a link in my description so you guys can go check that out. Without further ado, let's give you a little tour of this studio. So as we come into the studio, we actually have a pin display wall behind our door here that we keep all the Katnipp pin displays that we actually sell in our store, and we hand make them. And I've got my original generation 1 of Katnipp pins on there, and also some cute pins that were sent to me or we have collected over time. Over here is just like a unit with all our comic books that we've got from comic conventions, inspiration, some little cute plush toys, and also some little crochet animals of my characters that were actually sent to me, which is so cute. And then we also have like our lenses and our taxes and all the boring folders in this office here. So let's move around to our photography station over here. So over here we have our photography desk. We basically just have really cheap lamps from Amazon, and we also have like this window here which we actually have film and blinds on at the moment because it kind of diffuses the light. And this is where we take all our product photography, and we do like reels and TikTok and Instagram. And we normally have just like a folder down here where we keep loads of paper and printouts of different colours, so we can switch up our colours and our photography to make it look really pretty and have that Katnipp aesthetic. We also have loads of props that I've collected over the years from like charity shops, from conventions, and we use them for the product photography, and they're normally just in like baskets laid around just to make our product photography that little bit extra special and more Katnippy. Moving on to my desk over here where I work. So over here is the desk that I predominantly work from. This is where I do all my editing, all my designing, all my illustrating, and I am currently using a Flexi Sport desk that extends up and down like a standing desk. It was actually kindly gifted to me, and I have to admit I absolutely love them. I actually think in the new studio I might get rid of this wooden look, because oftentimes when I'm filming for videos it can look a little bit dark when I'm trying to show like products and things and trying to share things with you guys. So I might switch back and steal Dean's desk, which I'll show you in a second, which is white, and it's also a little bit smaller and I like a lot of desk space. I also have this really cheap trolley next to me which I got from, I think it was Hobbycraft, and I just have all my pens, pencils and things that I shot in there, like my washi tapes. And then on the wall behind me we've got some Katnipp prints, and we also have the Katnipp calendar, which I was super proud of, and it was the first time we've launched a calendar this year, and we'll be doing one every single year. I love looking at my calendar and switching it up for the months and seeing what the next illustration is. And I also have wallpapers to match in the studio to my calendar, which are actually exclusive to my patrons. If you want to join me over there, we do wallpapers every single month that matches the Katnipp calendar, and it just makes my desktop look super Katnippy and super pretty. And we also just have a space here with our Shopify counter, and we just work from here, and I do a lot of unboxings, and it's just extra bench space for me to work on. I also stained it with some ink. Actually Dean stained it with some ink, not me. Anyway, moving over to the printing section where all my Cricuts and printers are. Let's go, shall we? So over here is actually Dean and Mike's desk. This is where we predominantly print all of our items, and we also have our Cricuts. And if you watch our studio vlogs, you will have seen how we manufacture these, and we have them all stacked up behind us. We just kept all the printers and cutting machines all in one place, so it would be super easy for us to just print and go and stick them in the Cricuts if we need to cut anything like our sticker packs. Dean also does the shipping here, so he weighs all the items. Sometimes we switch up from sitting here and sitting over at the other end of the studio, which I'll show you in a second, but we have been using that as a second packing desk, but I'll show you that in a little bit. But this is predominantly our printing and shipping station for now. We have like extra tables and stuff that we've just shot into place. When we've run out of space, we've just kind of like put it there. And then right next to the printing station over here is actually our pressing station, where we have all of our mug presses, all of our heat presses, and it's just really handy kind of having them all together because we can print them out on the printer and then come over here to our printing station where we've got all the presses and stuff so we can press our designs on. We use a technique called sublimation for a lot of our prints. So a lot of our mouse mats, a lot of our mugs are using the sublimation method or another form of printing method where we need to use heat presses. So right next to the heat pressing station and our heat presses, behind us we have a bunch of shelving with sublimation blanks, things like our mugs which we sometimes store under the table, and our mouse mats, coasters, all to hand, so that once we've printed it we can then move over to the pressing station and we've got all the mouse mats and everything behind us that we can just grab off the shelves. We didn't used to decant them onto the shelves, but I definitely feel like it's a little bit more handy. What do you think, Mike? Having them just on the shelves ready to grab and go.
100%.
Yeah, because before they were like laid in boxes and you had to like go underneath. So I definitely think moving into the next studio, that is something that I'm going to take forward into the new studio and kind of decant things. And I would also like to decant the mugs now, because we sell a variety of different mugs from, oh, there's some here that's already been printed. Here's some I made earlier. We do large ones and we also do pink handle ones as well, so it would be handy to have some shelves where we have them all laid out and then back stock underneath. And then we're going to move around to now where we store all the products. Alright, so behind me is the start of our kind of aisle system, our little mini warehouse if you will, with all our items. We've got our caps, our t-shirts, our hats, our beanies over here. We've also got a lot of stuff from a recent launch called the Sakura collection, where we've got pin collections, washi stands, magnets, and little phone charms that we do as well. And we also have a greeting cards rack behind us as well, where we store our greeting cards. We don't actually fold our greeting cards before shipping them out, because we find that when they're folded they actually take up a lot of more space in storage. Honestly, when you fold them and put the envelope in, it takes up a lot of space, but it is easier just being able to grab and go. So it's that little extra step, so I suppose it's 6 and 2 frees. So moving around here is like my favourite part of the Katnipp studio. This is where the majority of our items are actually stored. We are predominantly a stationery store, but we are going into more lifestyle products. We have pins and we have a lot of stickers. So come back here and you can see where all our sticker storage is. So we use a variety of storage systems. A lot of the storage baskets are actually from the pound shop that were sold in my small town. We also use these paper boxes. We get them from Zorro.co.uk. They're called storage bins and the paper, but they're really handy because you can actually have them flat and stored away until you need them, and then you can unfold them and put your products on them. These are particularly handy for our pins because we put the pins on the front of the storage boxes, and because they're cardboard you can just kind of click them into place, and then we just put a little bit of sellotape over the top to keep the pin in place, and then you can easily see what enamel pins are on display. The rest of the stickers are actually using kind of an index sort of system, so we have them in like index files with the SKU at the top and the name of that sticker at the top, which you can easily then flick through and find. Because we have hundreds of stickers here at Katnipp, I found this has been the best method for us. Prior to that, I don't even know how we used to store them, to be honest, but this is definitely the best way we have found so far, and we have them in alphabetical order now, which Dean and Mike actually sorted out because I just had them in any willy-nilly, but they're now in alphabetical order, which is very satisfying when you're picking and packing. And I actually created these index tabs for the top of my stickers because I found I couldn't find any files online that looked cute and matched my studio, so I created my own. So we actually sell these stickers in store where you can add the little tabs on the top, and I did a few different designs like plant pots, bears, and I think they look really cute, and they're also really handy because you can rip them off and then put a new sticker on if you need to change up the SKUs. And you can also just cut a piece of card to size and stick these sticker tabs on the top. So that's why I decided to design and create them myself, because I couldn't find anything like them online that I actually liked. And then to the left of me is actually our shipping area. When we got this studio, this was actually already built in. We didn't get this built in, but we are dismantling this hopefully today and taking it into our new studio, and it's very helpful because it's extremely deep and can store all of our boxes, all the different sizes, because we do different items like greeting cards, we do stickers. It is really handy to have like a range of different size pit boxes, envelopes, and we can also use it as backstock and storage, which brings us up to behind us, which is our little shipping desk. So at the moment this shipping desk is actually only set up for one person, which is the main reason we probably needed to change the studio and move out. We used to have in our old studio a massive workbench space where about 6 people could pack. I think we do want to try and reintroduce some sort of system where we have a big massive shipping desk, because it does get a little bit tight here when I'm packaging orders. You do end up touching the keyboard and yeah, kind of knocking things around. It's a little bit of a mess at the moment because we have just had a launch, so we have been shipping from this area, but it's got everything to hand. We bought really cheap like paper organisers from the pound shop, which had to cable tie together because they were a little bit wobbly, and we also use a shoe rack to keep, and you'll see these dotted around the studio. These are really cheap £5 shoe rack that we got from B&M just to store envelopes to hand, so we can just grab them and go. Alright, this brings us up to our last spot, which is actually the extra packing desk or the shipping area. So I have actually been packing on here during the Sakura launch, and I've been picking and packing. So I'll take a basket, I'll go round to that section where all our products are, I'll pick it, and then I'll bring it round to this desk. This, before I was shipping, was actually the shipping desk, so we would have the scales on here and Dean or Mike would sit here and weigh and get the shipping bags and fulfill all the shipping and everything on this desk. And again, we have a cheap shoe rack that we use just to put all the shipping labels and everything on. We also have another one of our large Sakura mouse mats, which we have on my desk. We're currently sold out of that, but there will be a restock in July if you're interested. Just behind me over here, we stuck another table. And we also have these trolley things that we got second hand for £10. We got 2 of these trolleys. I still don't know what we're going to do with these, but they end up being like a dumping ground. We end up printing and making our orders and then putting them on this desk here ready for shipping, so that they're near all the products. So these are made to order items like our mouse mat. Coasters we actually bulk make and put them in our storage, but we do make a lot of mugs, mouse mats and everything made to order, and that's where we put them after we printed them over on the mug printing desk. And that concludes our studio tour. This is going to be the new studio that we're moving into. So if you want to follow along on the journey and see how we're going to lay out this, then please don't forget to subscribe and like, and I post new videos every week showing the behind the scenes tutorials and just what it's like in this journey of running my small business. I feel like I'm just getting started in business, and it's been crazy how far we've come so far. We already have a few little boxes dotted around in here because literally when I end this video, we are going to begin dismantling the studio and moving into here. So if you want to watch moving vlogs, please don't forget to stick around. I'll see you all very soon. Alright, thanks so much for watching. I love you. Goodbye.